84 of the Morning Journal. I am your host. They call me G, and I'm certainly glad to have you here with me this morning for this session. We're going to be talking about cognitive surplus, I guess is the topic in general, but specifically we're going to be looking at like the time saved and the time wasted in relation with our kind of relationship with technology, if you will. So hopefully that'll be a good thing for us to work on today. I know typically Thursdays are throwback Thursdays, but these prompts are for the most part new except for our check-ins. So I hope that you are ready. Now here's one change. Because I'm coming from the desktop app, we're not gonna, and I'm sure Kaloli is gonna be thrilled with this development. Some other folks might not feel as great about it, but the request box isn't available on the desktop version. So we're going to be straight in the chat with y'all today. Now, if there's an opportunity, if there's something that you want to share directly, like privately with me, or if you want to do anonymous and like have me read it, I think the way that I want to do that is to use the, hit up writer's room. That's me. The script's got to change, yo. Don't say put it in the box, just drop it in the chat or just stop using that one. But if you want to send a direct message to me, privately or whatever, you can hit up writer's room in the list and I can take a look at the private or anonymous messages. Just hit that wall, the follower wall, and I'll read them out loud. All right. Noble says different vibe today then. I don't know how different the vibe is going to be. I mean, it's just going to be a different user experience. We're going to see how it goes. I just got to get really good. I just got to get really good at keeping up with y'all. All right. And as I mentioned last night, the primary reason for doing this is because in order to enhance the quality of the stream on YouTube, I needed to send the same signal to both places. And so that's what I decided to do to see if it worked. It's huge. It's huge. But we'll see how it goes. It might not really be nothing for real. All right. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do here. Let's get ready to check in, shall we? It says intriguing, indeed. All right. So let's get into it. And you can see right now, I feel is the prompt that you see in the background. Right now, I feel. So if you want to let me know exactly what your experience is in the moment, go ahead and just drop a number in the chat. If you want to say more about it, say more in the chat. Anxious, 9 out of 10. We're feeling anxious this morning. You know what? Me too. A little bit. A little bit. Because, change is always like, okay, how's this going to work? Is this going to still be, is it going to be cool? I mean, I know it will eventually. We'll get it figured out eventually. But the good news is I went ahead and bit the bullet so that all the music that I play on the stream, I can play it everywhere. So, I got the licensing situation straight, so I don't have to worry about copyright for the music that we're playing. That was one of the big hurdles. It's like, I can't really play the music. But we're playing it now, so we'll see how it goes. So Mez is anxious. Noble is feeling indirect. Mez is feeling Mercury retrograde, 10 out of 10. Are we backing it up? Is Mercury out here backing it up for us real quick? Or at least that's the way that we are perceiving it. Mercury out there, like, throwing it back. So Tree is in the house. Welcome in, Tree. It's good to see you this morning, and welcome to session 184. I hope that things have been going well for you. Smells like Hot Topic is in the building. I love that name. What would you say if you had to describe the Hot Topic smell? What are the constituents? What are the notes? You know how when you have like wine, they describe notes. It's a little bit of cedar, some citrus. What are the notes of the smell of Hot Topic? Right now, we're just dropping our answers in the chat. Let us know. A little bit of an update. Tree, you might need to update your scripts. The request box is not available. So we're just dropping the answers. Just let me know. What are the notes of Hot Topic? I gotta say, when was the last time? I can't remember the last time I've been to a Hot Topic. We're talking about Hot Topic. They're probably not even here anymore. They're gone. The joke is over, but I'm still curious what you think about it. Notes of plastic. Tree is feeling overwhelmed. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 overwhelmed. What do you think has you, what is that overwhelming thing that's bearing down on you right now, if you don't mind saying? So many things. So I'm doing too much. Well, I know that sometimes the things that we take on, maybe we don't need to be taking them on. I don't know. So we do have some listeners over on the video side watching on Facebook. I see the fam. Nice to have you here. Let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear for you over there. It's a never-ending journey. Alexis Autumn Elf is here. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us this morning. Right now, we're just doing our check-in. Just drop it in the chat. Let me know how you feel. Put it on a scale of 1 to 10. Noble says, I have a lot of new stuff to do now. I have a lot of new to do. I can actively build game once again. Tree says, not gonna lie, I do enjoy how busy I am, but today is sort of testing me. Tree's about that busyness. I think that sometimes there is a little bit of terror that we feel when it comes to being overwhelmed. Sometimes we don't even have to get to the point of being overwhelmed. The terror of being overwhelmed can keep us from kind of engaging in certain things and keep us in a cycle of procrastination, which ironically just facilitates or, makes the overwhelm even worse. It's a counterproductive response, but it is what happens. At least, the very least, we've been able to sit it aside or push it back long enough to not deal with it right now. So the check-in is how we are feeling. Right now, I'm kind of settling in a little bit. Kind of settling in, trying to get my eye line correct to figure out what I need to be looking at. So Noble is indirect. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know if you want to say more about that. And maybe that's not something that you can actually put your finger on. Just not feeling quite like your usual self. Because I think your usual self is kind of indirect. I think you kind of speak or communicate in a way that is not necessarily pointing the fingers, filtered through a specific paradigm of communication that you use that is not necessarily perceived, I guess, as direct from people who hear it until you get to know you. Noble says maybe it's the vibe in the shift. Maybe thinking adds to other things I catch. My thinking adds to other things I catch. Roy says, not awful, but kind of annoyed with some people I talked to earlier. No one on this live, though. Oh, of course not. Of course not. Perish the thought. Mez. Roy was annoyed, yo. Roy was, if you wouldn't annoy, you wouldn't have said that shit, yo. Whatever it was, I don't know. You didn't get kicked for no reason, and then now you're feeling some type of way. I don't know, maybe. Okay, got it. All right. Take breaths. Take breaths. Here we are. Take it up with the boss. I know that you must be shaking in your boots right now when you see that Mez has the blicky in here. You must be shaking in your boots. Noble says, I am in a funny and fun mood after yesterday's ROA with Noble. Let's talk about that. It was a pretty good stream, right? That was a pretty good stream, I must say. I was glad to see so many folks in there kind of checking it out. So, yeah, that's what's up. All right. Yeah, hopefully, I trust my managers. So if they get, my managers have a green light. So hopefully you can survive. It's like the purge up in here, you dig? Kaloli's like, I'm back and I'm better than ever, baby. I can type in the chat without me getting roasted for it. That's what's up. All right. If y'all don't mind, let's get ready to go to the next prompt. I do have to kind of figure out my design considerations, because I don't know. I don't like this box in the middle of my screen, but we'll get it sorted. Let's get ready to go to the next prompt. If y'all are good with that. And do me a favor, I know this prompt is pretty straightforward, it's easy to see, but I also know that, you kind of like to chat. So when we get ready to do the prompts that are kind of specific questions, just do me a solid and drop an emoji right before the prompt, or type G right before the prompt, so I can, I make sure I miss it. I make sure I don't miss it. In the whole hubbub, I want to be able to make sure I can scroll through and catch anything that is directly in response to the prompt. I think that might work, right? Yeah. Can we decide, do we want to decide on what emoji to use before we get to the prompt? Kaloli's feeling ... entertained. No, but we're not doing a card like that. I'm sorry. We're not going to do some card because it doesn't show up well enough. And you might just randomly select. I do like the green check. It kind of pops. And as an alternative, if you are on desktop, if you're on desktop and you don't have access to the emojis, just type a capital G and colon, and then I'll see that, okay, let's read this one. So for the managers to update yep, just like that. So for the managers, if you want to update your scripts to give that instruction, it might be, it might be useful. Okay, let's get ready to go to the next prompt. And I mean, chances are I'm going to see it anyway, chances are. All right, let me see. Let me get my notes open so I can figure out where it is we're going in this conversation. Because I spent so much time trying to figure out the technical side. But I do got some prompts. I did prepare. I didn't show up, half-stepping. We got some good stuff today. So the conversation in general, we're going to be talking about a concept called cognitive surplus. Cognitive surplus is a phrase that was, I don't know if it was coined by Clay Shirky, but it was made it kind of came into the cultural, awareness or whatever, into the zeitgeist by a writer named Clay Shirky. And Clay Shirky asserted in the book that he wrote back in the mid-aughts, I'd say. And it was, late aughts, maybe 2008, 9, 10. It was at the point where it became clear that more and more people were going to be able to have a voice using these kind of user-friendly, open access social media networks. Whereas, media was dominated by corporations, and the only voices were the ones that were, the channels on your TV. Now you had everyone had the ability to leverage technology to make connections and you make real change. Now, of course, we know how that played out over time. Things didn't necessarily turn out the way that we expected, but there are possibilities. There were glimmers that this is going to be revolutionary, and it is. Revolutions are kind of messy, though. But in addition to the enhanced ability to connect and communicate, are all the different things that technology makes easier or even possible. All the different ways that, oddly, we can actually do things much more quickly. We can compress time. Communication is almost instantaneous among groups of people. We specifically saw it once the pandemic hit and people were able to work remotely. It was like, hey, we can just jump on this meeting real quick and nobody ain't got to travel nowhere. And there's all these different things. Ultimately, there's a lot of convenience and a lot of potential time savings from having to do things the way they used to do them. So we're talking about applications and we're talking about appliances. So looking from a historical context, the invention of the washing machine created a huge surplus in time. Like the whole way of not having to boil water and, scrape clothes across a washing board or beat them against a rock. That was a whole gig. You had to go get the water. So what happened once we got rid of that, it's like, okay, so now we can read books. It just kind of creates leisure. So we're going to be talking about the things that save us time, technology, the things that save us time, the things that waste our time, and the possibilities that we can do. What are some things that we can do with that time and bandwidth that could potentially be rescued because of the advances in technology? Maybe we can be a little mindful of that. We can make choices to keep that time from being stolen back from us. And I think Alexis points out that a lot of the stuff that of the availability of technology and the ease of use and the user friendliness and the adaptation. So there's this concept called the network effect, and there's just some tools that work better when more people have it. Perfect example is the first telephone was useless because you had nobody to call, right? So it was cool, but who were you going to call? With the Ghostbusters? So there are a lot of things that there is, and some things when they come out, when they're brand new, they're kind of difficult to use. So yes, you could, the internet's been around for a long time, but in order to use it, you had to learn a whole bunch of stuff just to do the basic things. So yeah, the dial-up noises for sure. So we're going to be talking about that. And I want to kind of get your insights on it. With the first prompt, let's do this. I know that we are here representing several different cohorts of generations, etc. And I know I can probably speak on changes that you might not remember. But here's the question. In your lifetime, what's the biggest thing that technology has made easier? Easier. The biggest change in your lifetime that you remember. Now, here's one of the plus sides of not having the request box. You can answer more than one time, because I know I love y'all. I love how y'all waste the request box with a off hand remark, and then you just in jail until the next request box comes up. In the meantime, Den is here. Hi, Den. Welcome in. Everybody seems to know you, Den. Let me take a look. Let me see what's going on with Den. All right. It looks like Den has got a little bit of OG situation. Glad to have you here. And I think you might have been here before. It's like, hey man, I've been here before. You forgot me? So the biggest, in your lifetime, what's the biggest thing that technology has made easier? Nesquik says, hey, making amazing sandwiches is a valid response to any question. Roy says, do y'all remember 2000s internet, fan fictions, net, DeviantArt, Newgrounds, old school YouTube, LiveJournal? Yeah. I knew it, but I didn't use it. Roy says, I grew up in the 2000s and I had inattentive parents, so that was my life. That was my life. So here's a question coming in, a response coming in from Facebook. Online banking and paying bills, that's the biggest thing. One of the biggest things that technology has made easier. And that's from John on Facebook. Glad to hear that you are listening in. Smells like Hot Topic is back. We had a whole conversation about you while you were gone, and you missed out on it. I mean, I have just like the faintest of memories of ATMs starting, you know? Do y'all remember a world without ATMs when the bank closed and it was just closed? Can you imagine not being able to get money outside of Monday through Friday? at 9 o'clock, from 9 to 5, if you didn't have it, you ain't got it. So a little bit of nostalgia from Alexis, remembering phone numbers in your cell phone so you don't have to look up people in the phone book. So speed dial, the address book in the cell phone has made things so much easier. I agree. The trade-off is we don't know nobody's number no more. Roy says that one thing's making my life easier is streaming. I say it's much easier to consume media. yeah, definitely. It's easier to find stuff to watch, a wider variety of things to watch. I think if you are a producer, there's definitely an advantage in terms of being, having more potential outlets to build an audience. Roy says you don't have to spend weeks hunting down a DVD or VHS tape or CD if you could even find it. I don't know, man. You must have been really dedicated. I don't know what kind of stuff you were trying to find that you were spending weeks to hunt it down, but I appreciate that dedication. Tree says the biggest thing, not having to go to the theater, has made things easier. But I don't know. What about, do you miss something about that experience though? I don't know. The theater's definitely still a thing. And I guess the home theater experience, so there's a lot of things in play in terms of not having to go to the theater. I guess that would have started when cable came in, right? That was the first move. And cable came in, and then like HBO started bringing like movies. And then I guess, your VHS, your VCR, that was the first thing. You got your movies on VCR. For me, that's a very mid-'80s memory for me. All of those John Hughes movies on tape, 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink and Breakfast Club. Those were the VHS tapes that kind of stick out in my mind. And then going from there all the way to streaming, like thinking about like Netflix as a company used to just send you the DVD and you'd have to send it back, So Roy's pointing out that, if you got a taste in foreign music and stuff, it's hard to find, but now you got Spotify. So Tree says, I'd go to a live theater, but not for movies. Roy's a big young for Blockbuster. Getting Netflix DVDs in the mail was a big part of your childhood. The anticipation, right? You had your queue. So Nesquik says, wow, you guys are old. I know. I don't even want to talk about it. So there are a lot of things that are easier. And I think for the most part, it starts with things that you don't necessarily think are important, just kind of entertainment. But it's hard to underestimate the value that we place on convenience. We'll trade almost anything if it's easy. If it makes things easier, we'll give it up, Mez points out, hey, we are wiser, not older. Don't look at the calendar. Time is irrelevant. So Noble says, going to stores that had demo games because video games were just starting out and having a demo on. Yeah, going and getting to play an Atari 5600. Oh no, not 56, the 5200, the new one. They had it set up in the toy store. You could play the games. So here's some more old person lore. I worked at Radio Shack. Back in the day. So, so that's a whole nother conversation. Dan says, my cousins always talked about calling girls' home phones and being scared that parents might answer. Yeah, you couldn't just slide, You couldn't just slide. You had to call. You couldn't be playing on people's phone either. So yeah, it was a big deal. If you were calling, you were tying up the line. Kuro is here. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Right now, we're talking about the biggest thing that technology has made easier, and it's given us an opportunity to kind of reminisce and think about the good old days, so to speak. Aunt Capone is in the building over on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining us, Aunt Capone. We are here for session number 184, talking about the things that technology has made easier. So I know you old. I know you old, Aunt. What's one thing that you think technology has kind of been revolutionary for you, made your life a lot easier? All right, let me take this drink of water. Roy says, I remember the big thing was when I was young, it was the Wii. Hey, the Wii, for real. I think the Wii is sort of like the precursor to a lot of the sort of the kinetic VR type experiences. They were born in the Wii. And Capone says the streaming services are the biggest thing that makes life easier. Yeah, similar to trees. Like, I ain't got to go to the movies come to me. And I could just sit here and binge that giant. All right. Yeah, let's if we already, Anne says you can watch anything you want and not wait until next week. It's to the point where there's some series that still, like HBO, for example, whenever it's a new in process or in progress series, you do have to still wait for that next episode. And it's a little bit annoying to not be able to binge the whole thing, to the point where sometimes I'll just wait for the season to be over so I don't have to wait to, we so impatient, right? So Alexis says the video chat has made my life easier. I still have an OTTY, but being able to talk in real time is so much better. Roy's having these memories of him and his brother beating each other's in video games, getting mad. Chloe says being able to be in constant contact. Back then you had to find your way home instead of call for a ride. Think about how hard it was to coordinate with somebody before there were cell phones. There was no, hey, I'm on the way, I'm this and that. You just had to trust that the person was going to show up. You just had to be there and hope that they got there. And if something happened, you wouldn't know until you got back home. You just had to be reliable. You had to be there at the time that you were going to be there. There's no way of knowing that. There's no texting, hey, I'm on the way. There's no, something came up. When you were on the way, you were just out of touch. You just couldn't be reached. As soon as you leave your house, it was wrap until you got where you were going next. No checking in, none of that. All right. So we can appreciate, I think, all the ways that our life is made easier by these advances. Of course, it doesn't come without a cost, and we're going to try to get into that cost a little bit more over the course of the conversation. Chloe says GPS. For sure. Basement is here. Thank you so much for the like, Basement. I appreciate you. Right now, we are answering the question, in your lifetime, what is the biggest thing that technology has made easier? We can think about how easier our lives are, and you run across somebody old like Aunt Capone or me, and we'll hit you with the back of my day real quick. Back in my day, we had to print our directions out. We had to use a map back in my day. We had to use a map. Back in my day, we just had to know where we were going. All right, here we are. So let's go ahead and drop a green heart in the chat, or drop any heart in the chat, and let me know if you're ready to go to the next prompt. I think I'm ready to take us there. So here's a huge benefit for the desktop app. Just an observation. Zero latency. I see the chat pretty much as soon as you type it. So here we go. Along with these conveniences, there is something that one of the trade-offs is we kind of develop a dependency on some of these applications and appliances, those things that we use that make our lives easier. So let's go specifically into our phones, because I think the smartphone as in general is a perfect example of an advancement that creates a lot of different things. So the question is, what application on your phone would you have the hardest time deleting? What application on your phone would you have the hardest time deleting? Nesquick says, Taco Bell app. Hey, Bell's got to run to the border for real. Welcome in, Ida May, because Ida May is listening in. Thanks for joining us. Hope that you're having a good morning so far. We're talking a little bit about our relationship with technology. So thinking about, if you look at your phone, if it's a flip phone, I mean, you ain't got nothing to worry about. There was a kind of a movement of people kind of reverting back to a flip phone to escape the distractions that our phone can be. But if you got a smartphone, you got that 12 Pro Max, 13 Pro Max, I don't know. What could you not delete? So Mez says YouTube, Spoon, and Maps would be the ones that you wouldn't want to delete. Chloe says Messenger. That's one app that I would have a hard time deleting. Gotta stay in touch. Alexa says calculator. Yeah, because I can't add. I'm enumerate. Mez would be lost without YouTube. I watch YouTube quite a bit, but I don't do it on my phone. I think there is a different experience of, there are a lot of things that you can do on your phone that you can also do on like a computer or on a larger screen. The experience of using something on your phone is different, and just the convenience of always having it there. So Noble says Messenger, Spoon, and Adventure Capitalist. What's Adventure Capitalist? What is that? Mez says, I text on my laptop and watch movies on my phone. Backwards. Tree says, is camera roll, is that considered an app? Yeah, I would say that. I mean, I would say looking forward, looking back, phones didn't always have cameras and the ability to save pictures. And, we didn't think about that. Now, the phone is just an app on your phone. We use it for everything from taking pictures to shooting movies to consuming content. Basement says Discord. I couldn't, I like that. Nesquick says, I don't know. I have a hard time deleting any of them. We kind of, it's convenient. It's there. I mean, I don't know. I think they did a study about how many times you pull out your phone a day. And whatever number you think is probably too low. Roy says, Roy's a rebel. Other than Google, says you don't want to put the check marks in. I'm still going to read it though. Other than Google, probably Spotify or Discord. I love talking to my friends and listening to music. For sure. Basement says, if we could live without phones, I'd be so happy. You could do it, though. You could. You are making these choices. So Noble says, Adventure Capitalist is a game that acts like stock trading. Okay. And I like how the question is singular and y'all are giving me all of these lists. Kaloli's like Gmail, Google the browser, Spoon, Discord, TikTok, YouTube Music, Kindle, Audible. Kaloli is in deep. Don't be ashamed of TikTok. TikTok is, you just got to know how to use TikTok and not let it use you. Don't scroll until they start warning you. Say, hey, maybe you want to fall back, yo. Don't you think you've already seen enough videos? Take a break. The right way to use TikTok. Here, let me give you a tutorial. Let me run your life for a second and tell you how to use TikTok. So I think it's pretty fair to say that we have a strong and maybe not always healthy relationship with the technology. Is using us rather than us using it. A lot of times it's just a tool of distraction that might keep us from, it's a place that we can run to instead of doing the things that I'm not going to say should be doing, because I'm not going to make it like a moral thing. I'll say that things that we intend to do. So, Mess says, oh, there's never enough distractions. Messenger is great because it allows for you to keep in touch with your AG team. Yeah, I think communication is important. And I think one-to-one communication and just being able to coordinate in that way is extremely valuable. I mean, I know over the course of the last couple years, video chatting with my daughter over in Germany on almost a daily basis is huge. It's huge to have sort of this thread. I also have friends where our relationship pretty much, we spent time together in real life, but now our relationship exists largely through our chat history and our history of messages that we've sent back and forth to each other. So when people are far away and scattered, it's definitely better than not being in touch, for sure. DT TV is in the building. Let us know, what application on your phone would you have a hard time deleting? That is the question of the moment. And I think there is sort of you can kind of draw a line between your productivity apps and your consumption apps. So there's probably a split of time that you use your phone for, communication and productivity, and for consumption and distraction. I have all of my notifications silenced. And like for me, for instance, some of the same tools that we use for distraction, if we are creating content, we also use them for production. There are a lot of folks in here, there are a lot of content creators in the stream right now. So, your relationship with certain social media platforms would be different than someone who doesn't post anything or who isn't actually building an audience or creating on that level. So it's a tool for you differently, but it can still get out of hand, and you have to figure out the best way to manage it. So, all right. Roy says, I got 80 notifications popping off every morning. Berlin, for obvious reasons. YouTube. All right, folks, I think we can get ready to go into the next prompt. The pacing of this session, we're moving along. We're 50 minutes in, yo. Can't believe that. We already been doing this for almost an hour. So I think it's time we can go on to the next prompt if you are ready. Everything is going to be along this conversation about technology. And I think as users of technology, as creative people, we have different levels of savvy about us. And as advanced and as amazing so many things are, there are things that are possible that who would have imagined they were possible. But there's definitely some gaps. So this next prompt is going to be about those gaps. Like, what's missing? If you're old enough to remember the Jetsons, the world that was shown in that space, we ain't got a lot of that stuff yet. There are a lot of kind of annoying things that we have in our experience. And it's like, yo, why haven't we fixed this problem yet? So the word app, you can think of app as an application or appliance, anything that, any tool of technology or innovation. It's like, hey, we should have fixed this already. This should be an easier way. Like, why are we still doing that? So the Flintstones. Roy says, there should be an app for plotting revenge against the enemies and haters. There should be an app for that. I don't know, what would you call it? So if we're going to do a revenge app, what would you call it? What would be the name of the app? And what would be some of the basic features? Let's get some money in here. Would you call it the Get Back? Maybe it could be when you open the app, you type in what the infraction was, like how you were wronged, and maybe it gives you like a tree of it. It gives you like a tree of options. I don't know. So Berlin says, why does a stove need Wi-Fi? I can get into that. So in the chat, someone said there should be an app for sending fried chicken. I think there is. There is an app for sending fried chicken. DoorDash will send you some fried chicken. Roy says the app for revenge will be called Killer. It helps you track people and send bombs in the mail. All right. Let's chill. So your chicken. So you want to send people your chicken in the mail. Okay. Or not in the mail, but just like, here's some of Ida Mae's chicken. Hey. Yeah, that would be clutch. You can't always get good chicken. You can get chicken, but you can always get good chicken. So I love that. So the question was, why would a stove work on Wi-Fi or want Wi-Fi? I think that it allows you to automatically start and stop and control temperature remotely and in relationship to other things in the house. All right. So Alexis says that a postal worker tracker, like how you track pizza, you track where your post person is with your mail. I know that other delivery services have that, but I guess the problem with that is it would become it will make the postal worker's job even that much harder. They won't be able to catch a break. Like, oh, the complaints. Oh, why are you taking so long? That surveillance thing would be good for us, but it might not be a vibe. Postal workers already have it hard. Like they have it so hard that there's a whole metaphor around the stress that they deal with on their job. So we don't want to add, mass surveillance to the list of stresses of being a postal worker. But I get it. It would be good for you. I mean, I don't know. For me, my mail comes My mail comes pretty much the same time every day. You know, they have a route and it's coming pretty much the same time. So that is all over the place for you. 10 a.m. one day, 8 p.m. the next. I hear you. So Tree says an app for weather control. Okay, I mean, it is. It's called an air conditioner. Yeah, it's an air conditioner. You can control the weather in your environment. Why you want to try to control the whole world? And Capone makes a point. Yeah, people be pulling up on UPS if they could track everything. Yeah, they be pulling up. But hey, we're just spitballing here. There's no bad ideas. We just kind of spitballing here. So Tree says, I'd love some snow here. This is Tree trying to have it both ways. I live in Hawaii, but I want to have snow. So Noble says a tutorial app for designers to cross-learn and find new techniques in a design craft. That's doable. Kind of a step-by-step teaching app. There are probably some out there. They're probably not widely known because it's kind of a specific thing, but just kind of an education app that walks you through the design process. Tree says, I want it to be 70 degrees and snowing. Okay. So I think that, we recognize we've grown into certain expectations in terms of the way that our technology is going to serve us. We have these dependencies that we have, hey, ain't no going back now. It's hard for us. It's easy to live with something that you've never had, but once you've had an experience, it's really hard to kind of go back. Say, I can't press a button 3 times to get to a letter to send you a text. I'm sorry, I can't. Kalina is here. Welcome in, Kalina. Thanks for joining us this morning. Bennett is here. Hi, Bennett. Welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us. Roy wants an app to talk to monkeys. Well, you can talk to them now. I guess the app is for them to be able to understand you. You don't need the app. They need the app. All right. Kalina says, your niece is tired, man. Why are you so tired? Relax. Here we go. If y'all are ready, we can get ready. Oh, app to instantly translate every major language. They have that. They have that. Google Translate is surprisingly good right now on the later phones. That's really, if you think about it, that's really Star Trek level, It's amazing, right? It's amazing. Talk to text is amazing. All right, so we're going to get ready to go to the next prompt. If y'all don't mind, we can drop a heart in the chat, and we're going to say more about our conversation around sort of technology and the things that we use, the tools that make our lives easier or enhance our lives in various ways. So the last prompt was about this is cool. I like that this is a thing. The next prompt is man, why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Because naturally, even with the best intentions, there's some things, there's some applications, there's some technology that we really wish we could put the toothpaste back in the tube. It just went totally off the rails. So think about this. Which app should never have been invented? It's man, we sure don't need this. This thing sure did take a turn. So think about, I don't know, maybe there's one on your phone that you can't get rid of that you wish I would have never. Speaking of So Twitter, okay. You've had bad experiences on Twitter. I have really good experiences on Twitter. You using it wrong. What are you doing over there? No, I get it. I get it for sure. I don't know. Speaking of TikTok, I know folks were talking about TikTok before. There's that video or that sound, the audio where it's a person. What kind of the setup is me trying to stop myself before I slept with a fan for the first time. It's like that one thing that happened and now it just ruins your life. You got to have a fan from now on forever. So some apps are like that. It's like, man, I hate this thing. I can't stop using it. So Twitter, TikTok for Kalina. I thought I was going to tell y'all how to use TikTok. I was going to give you a tutorial and tell you how to use it the right way. I guess the right way. Alexa says Snapchat should never have been invented. The alarm clock should never have been invented. Disappearing chats can be dangerous with stalkers and kids. I hate Facebook because everyone there is rude to me. I mean, I guess we all have our own personal... Man says Facebook is fake. Meanwhile, we got people listening in, real people I know on Facebook answering in the chat. So it's real. I think we all have our own personal reasons why, an app should never have been invented. You think it's causing more harm than good? Like, why do we need disappearing chats? I think there is sort of a value of, I think it was a response to everything being so permanent, and we change our minds and we grow over time. And like, heaven forbid we say something today that we realize was wrong tomorrow. And, here it comes. So I think that the disappearing chat is probably the least significant feature on Snapchat now. It's pretty much a media platform at this point. But like Facebook, you say, people, you don't have a good experience there. There's a lot of misinformation there. So Nesquik says Reddit should never have been invented because it's pretty concerning. News apps, the 24-hour news cycle is the biggest poison in the world. Okay. Basement says you just got to be in the right places. So Mo is here. Welcome in, Mo. Thanks for joining us this morning. Said Craigslist. I feel like there's a story about, no, but where you at on Craigslist that it's a problem for you? How is Craigslist a problem for you? I'd love to know. There seems like a story there. Well, I was on every bad situation. Well, I was on Craigslist. Okay, here we go. It was like, hey, do not contact me with unsolicited offers, please. All right. Mo says that Craigslist is my new favorite dating app. Mo's up there on misconnections, just shooting shots at everybody that passed on the road on the way to work. He's like, I was on my way to work and you passed me by in a big truck. I don't know if you saw me look at you from my car, but that was me. If you pass somebody today on your way to work in a big truck that looked at you, hit me up. So Basement says YouTube. Wow. Basement's hardcore. It's like free TV in general. It hasn't helped humanity very much. I want to be able to, I want to have to go to school to learn everything. Yeah, I want to have to go to the library and go to a community college to learn how to do every little thing. YouTube should never exist. Oh, man. Well, there are other platforms for learning. Which ones do you use? And which ones are the most easily searchable? I don't know. Curiosity Stream. Yeah, you can learn big ideas on Curiosity Stream, but you might not necessarily learn how to hook up. Maybe you won't learn how to make the Wi-Fi work on your new stove, because nobody's going to make a Curiosity Stream about like very specific technical things that you're trying to do. Mando says, Facebook should never have been there. Y'all got some real strong opinions. Basement says, if YouTube never existed, there would be platforms for learning. I don't know. It's easy to think that. It's easy to think that something else would have filled that void, but at some point, it's the scale of YouTube and the network effect of it that makes it work. So yes, there's a lot of other stuff up there that you don't want to see, but at some point, something has to get big enough to be profitable in order to be sustainable, and people are not paying for stuff. So you have to have enough scale to leverage advertising. If people paid for stuff, if people were really, so there is definitely a demand, but who's paying for stuff? I guess a good question is, what apps do you pay for? What apps do you use that you pay for, where you are the customer and not the product? Which ones? Let me know. Plenty of fish. I watch too much catfish on TV. So Mando says, I pay for the movie apps. I'm not arguing against free info. I'm arguing against free entertainment. Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be free. There's plenty of places that you can put it that it's not free. But yeah. YouTube Premium. Mez pays for YouTube Premium. I do too. I pay for YouTube because I'm an adult. And I don't have time for all the ads. And I use it like a search engine. Yeah, I use it like a search engine and I skip the ads. So, Noah says, I avoid pay for apps. Yeah, that's right. That's consistent. I find free and fun apps and just watch all the ads. It's not free. How much is your time worth? So I think that, our experience with different platforms of technology kind of say, man, this is not worth it. And I worded it kind of strongly because to say something never should have been invented is a very strong stance. But of course, we all will have the opportunity or the option to engage with things at our level of comfort. It's definitely, it's definitely a give and take. Basically, I don't think a tech company should be responsible for a person's enjoyment. Okay. So what are some of the types of things that you do to enjoy yourself? Like what are the entertaining things that you do that are not associated with technology? And what do you define as a tech company, really, I guess? Tree says, the apps that control your house, I don't know if I can trust that. I mean, hey. I wouldn't use it. You say I wouldn't use it. But if you want to have a remote control house, do your thing, I guess, right? All right. So I wanted to get a feel for that prompt was really provocative intentionally because I wanted to see which places that you have a very saying that no entertainment should be free sounds very classist to me. Here we go. So Basement takes music lessons and play bass guitar. I could dig it. So Adame points out, speaking of Facebook and games have taken away human face-to-face interaction. So yeah, you can maybe stay in touch with that one person that you went to school with a long time ago, or, that you might not have otherwise, but we use that in lieu of real human interaction. Noble Ancient tried to sneak an ad in with a check mark. If you abuse a check mark, I'm intentionally not going to read it. Don't abuse the system here. All right. The check mark is for, Okay. Let's get ready to go to the next prompt. Are y'all ready? Let me know. So I love that. I love the conversation going back and forth between Basement and Roy. That's making some interesting points. I'm just here to poke, I'm just here to poke around a little bit. I'll let y'all handle that. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so here is the next prompt. So we have all of these conveniences and we have all of these things. What's something that you prefer to do by hand the old-fashioned way? Like, and y'all don't, I put that bicycle up there. So be cool. What's something that you prefer to do the old-fashioned way? Still, even though there's an easy way, there's a fast way. All right, Emma, I knew it was coming. I asked for it, sorta. So we have moved on to the prompt. What is something that you prefer to do the old-fashioned way? And Mo just put a bunch of smirky faces. Mez says draw, paint, and make cards. I know that Alexis has pen pal letters. I'm imagining that those are written by hand, but I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe you just write it in Gmail and print it out and mail it. I don't know. So Kalina says, I like to dance by hand. I don't know. How do you dance by hand? Noble says either wash dishes or design games at home. All my prototypes are hand designed. So what do you think handstand dance is? Yeah. So yeah, there's a beautiful thing. The walls are, there's a feature called, follower wall, and there's messaging. So if we move on from a conversation that you still want to continue, make friends on here, and keep talking about it. So write letters and make jewelry by hand, do virtual assignments by hand. So Mo is, you've seen all these green check marks in the box, Mo. So just so you know, the request box is dead right now. So the green check mark replies are the ones that are in direct response to, you know, just so you know, because we don't have the request box in this setup. So over on Facebook, cook and do family gatherings the old-fashioned way, not on Zoom, for sure. Yeah, cook. Yeah, take your time and cook. What else, you know? What else you got to do? What else you got going on that you ain't got time to make it the right way? You know, don't just you know, open the box and throw it in the microwave. It's not the same. Emo says my responses are not that serious anyway. Mez is missing out on the anonymity. So here's the thing too. I know it won't show up in the chat, but if you want to answer, I don't necessarily know that there's anything in these prompts, but we can just give it a shot. If you want to answer anonymously, and let me just see if it works, I guess. Just hit the writer's room icon real quick and try to like post it on my follower wall on the writer's room, and I can look at it like that. Maybe I can see it and I can read it out loud even if you don't say it out loud. You know, let's just do a test. Let me know if that works. So Basement says, okay, well, let me catch up. Mando says the old-fashioned way of dating. Mando wants to pull up at the house and say, kind sir, I'm calling on, he wants to call on people, like pull up and call on them face to face. Tree prefers to hand wash all the dishes. You know, I don't like to use a peeler. I like to use a knife to peel vegetables and just cut all that stuff out. Tree be peeling vegetables and like, Tree be peeling vegetables and half of the flesh of the vegetables gone. Steve is here from the Hold Up TV. What's happening? Thanks for stopping through in this new Morning Journal Live experience. Couple of protocols we had to put in place to make up for the you know, the request box. But we thriving. If you in Purple Gang, I'm gonna notice what you say anyway. You know. And there's also the super chat. There's a super chat in here. If you want to say it with your full chest, hit that super chat. You know, that tip message, and everybody get to see it. And I can't even stop it. So Adame agrees. I like that old-fashioned dating. Yeah, sit on the porch. Sit on the porch. Have a conversation. No phones. Don't be sitting there talking to me with looking at your phone, scrolling, you know. We here right now. Yeah, so we're talking about super chat. So if you, yeah, there is the thing where you can send a tip with a message and it kind of like, it'll do its thing. Yeah. All right. So if you want to, yeah, let me know if you have an anonymous message. I'm wondering if I'm going to get the notification for that while I'm in the stream. I may or may not. Somebody send me a message send a message to the writer's room, which is a person that's in the chat, so I can see if I'm able to see those messages. You know, we still figuring things out. That's me right here. Just click on that profile, writer's room, and see if I can get that private message. All right, so other things that you like to do the old-fashioned way. Or think you might. So I never done it, but it would be shave with an old-fashioned razor just because I want to cut my face off. Okay. All right. Hey, Beans, am I right? Am I right? From Nesquik. Alexis, follow me. This is just a testing. Yeah. So it works. It works. So for anonymous replies, I don't think we're talking about nothing that serious, but I can follow the anonymous replies over with the writer's room. I'll see it and we can read it that way. So that's how we can work around it. If you feel like you can't say it with your chest, just hit me up. We'll see what we can do. All right. Something that you prefer to do by hand or the old-fashioned way. So I think that a lot of times, one of the things that technology takes from us in exchange for convenience is the experience and the journey, the pace that we go through when we do things. There's something that's lost in that. So Mez just sent me a message. Can you see me? I can see you, Mez, for sure. And I could have been quiet about it. But yeah, I think there's something that we lose in the pace. Like when we add convenience, a lot of times we lose a part of the experience. There's there's an idea of craft that we lose when we just want to skip to the result. And as creative people, we have to kind of gauge those trade-offs. It could be the case that we just need to get to it. Maybe we just in a big old hurry and we just need to get the answer right now. We need the result right now, so we can move on to the next thing. But it's a question like, what's the hurry? For real, what's the hurry? I know that you feel like you need to hurry up, but if you really take some time to think about it, what is it that you're going to do with the time that you save? So Sigma is here. Welcome in. Nice to have you this morning. We're thinking about the things that we prefer to do by hand or the old-fashioned way. What lessons could we learn? Adame says, for real, the journey will teach you. So what is it something that you already do? Or maybe to say it another way, what is something that you could maybe do the slow way? Just to try it out. Is there something that you can say, okay, this is my task right now. I'm just going to take my time and just do it. I'm not going to automate it away. Mez says, think the old-fashioned way. Unplug and think your own thoughts. Think slowly. Yeah, I think we spend or we exist our whole lives in anticipation of something without actually being present in the moment for whatever it is. I'm one of the folks who I'm the type of person who I'm usually not in a hurry to get anywhere. If somebody's like, oh, here's a faster way to get there on a route, let's go this way. It's like, we'll get there. What you gonna do with that 2 minutes? What you gonna do with that 2 minutes? What. So this is sort of an invitation. We all have the ability, Vans, put on Vans, Kalina. We all have the ability to save ourselves a lot of time. So there's definitely some conveniences and things that we would not want to live without. We wouldn't want to go back. But when we save that time, where do we want to reinvest it? Where is it getting stolen now? Like, I think a lot of times it's getting stolen by the things that we wish didn't exist. So I want to jump back to this real quick and let's think about this one. Talking about that time saved. You feel like you don't have time, and sometimes technology steals your time. Let's look at it another way. Let's think about the things that actually save you time. Let's see if we can find you some time. Let's find a little bit of time. What application or appliance saves you the most time? Noble goes quiet, lurking. So what is something that saves you a bunch of time? Because, you can't necessarily live in the world and do everything the old-fashioned way, the slow way. So we need to rescue some of our time. What's something that does that? Or what's something that could do that? Matt says it saves time not having a sleep schedule. For some reason, Kalina thinks that making avocado toast, maybe that's an answer to doing something the slow way. How does avocado toast save you time? Maybe it keeps you from having to go and buy it somewhere else. I don't know. So reminders save you time. I think the app that saves me the most time right now is the app called Mem that I use for my note taking, because it does a really good job of kind of keeping everything organized. It's very searchable, so I can always find my notes and random thoughts without having to dig all over the place and flip through a million notebooks. So for Sigma, your password app saves you a lot of time. Voice memos for your thoughts. Notion, that's another great tool for taking notes. Can save you a bunch of time. The time that you invest in being organized and using tools to be more organized can definitely make other things easier or go more smoothly, for sure. Kalina says, I get it for free, yo. I get it for free 99 because I'm a student. Y'all need to get like me. So Noble says, my virtual notepad to quickly jot down ideas as they hit. And how does that save time for you? Where do the time savings part come in? I know, I definitely see the value of it, of not losing your ideas. You don't have to go looking for paper. So how is it better than just having paper always in your pocket? Or like, how is it better than just having a little notebook with you? So Matt says, notes keeps my notebooks clean because I can just delete them and save time buying notebooks. I don't know. I don't know if anybody has like a stack of half-filled notebooks. Who else has a whole library full of half-filled notebooks? Who else, every time you get ready to start a new project, you buy a new notebook? It's like, okay, this is it. This is the thing for the thing. Oh, man. I love that. So Alexa says, a calculator saves me a lot of time because I can't math. Yeah, it saves you time and error. Kalina wonders, do I like strawberry yogurt? I do like strawberry yogurt. I like most flavors of yogurt. Yeah, there is something special though about getting a brand new notebook, fresh. It's like, okay, you feel like you're about to do something, right? Brand new, fresh. Page 1. I'm going to keep this one together. I'm going to stay focused with it, you know? And maybe about what? You know, before you know it, you just writing down random stuff in it, all upside down and tearing pages or pieces of pages out of it, and it's not special anymore. Then so you discard it, and then you get another one. So Adame says, Google helps finding a store that has what I need instead of going there and it's not there. Man, how much time is saved with shopping by seeing, okay, who has this thing? You put it in Google, boom, it shows you all the places that have it, boom, it's in stock. Got it. Shopping, I think, has been revolutionized, but a lot of times we don't necessarily make use of the time savings of shopping. We still just go and roam around and look around and get enticed into buying some things that maybe we don't even need. But, that's here nor there. Pandora is here. Savage Hector King is here. Welcome in, folks. Thanks for joining us for this session of the Morning Journal. I am your host, G. We do this every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. So if this is a vibe for you, we'd love to see you here live. But if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or wherever we are, make sure that you give us a follow or subscribe, whatever the language is and on that platform. Do that, because then you can catch the replays. We'll get these time stamped and everything, so you don't necessarily have to go straight, listen to the whole thing. Although I would love it. You can hop over to YouTube and jump straight to a specific prompt if you want to hear the way we set it up. Maybe listen to a few other people's responses, and then just drop down in the comments below and let us know what you think about it. Hopefully that'll be a great way to engage with this experience if it's not on the time frame that works for your schedule. That doesn't mean you can't get down with this. All right, Savage Hector says, you seem cool. Hey, I'm glad that you think I seem cool. I try to be cool. I try to be cool now. I wasn't always cool. So Kalina has breakfast. Are we ready to go to the next prompt? Like, how many more prompts do I got? So this is my first time doing the experience without the request box. So again, we got to figure out the pacing. How do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like y'all going to be able to get used to this? Or y'all going to like leave? Oh, you changed too much. I can't do it no more. I'm out. People are fickle. Everybody ain't down to ride with you. So if you're over on Spoon and you've been through this experience before, and like, how central is the request box to the experience? I thought it was indispensable, but there was a lot of trade-offs with it. And I think that I can get better, and we can work around it. I mean, if it's a deal breaker, I guess. Because she ain't coming back, baby. But she will be back for Writer's Room, for sure. So the request box will be back for, like, Rhythm and Muse and Writer's Room, the evening streams that don't go to the other platforms. So there is that. All right. Let's see. And here's another thing. I don't have access to my whole library of prompts. If I start going too fast, it might be a problem, because I might run out of stuff to say. All right, let's see. The box did not save time. No, it didn't. It made the box didn't save time for sure. It did, because we've already gone through 7 of the 8 changes. 7 of the 10 changes. And let me see, did I miss one? Hard time deleting. There should be an ad for that. Should not have been existed. Right now I feel. One at a time. Okay. Alexa says it did allow more space to write though. Yeah, y'all just got to get to the point, yo. Y'all just got to get to the point. Edit. All right. So we're going to go here. Let me see if I can do this. I might be able to grab stuff off of my cloud situation. So our relationship with technology is something that's going to evolve over time. I don't know if there's a thing that you can do. What is one thing that you would change about your relationship with technology? Where do you think it's maybe not as healthy as it should be? Is there an action that you can take where you feel like you might be able to get more of the benefits and fewer of the drawbacks? What would your strategy be to make a healthier relationship for yourself? Because, sometimes we have the tendency to like throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like if something has something, it's bad, we want to say it's all bad. But, naturally, when we started, we talked about all the ways that it makes our life better. So what are some things that you can do to kind of calibrate your relationship with the tools that you use to entertain yourself or to inform yourself to have a healthier relationship with that? So Kalina is running down the outfit for today, the fit of the day. We're probably going to get a fit check once that's all put together. But yeah, let's kind of think about that. What are some ways that you can have a healthier relationship with technology? What's some things that you can do? DJ Prodigy is here. Welcome in. Whispering Dawn. Yo. All right. Right now, the question is, what are some things that you can do to have a healthier relationship with technology? We know it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be room for growth. But maybe there's something that kind of stands out right now. So, if I did this, it would probably make things work better for me. So let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Noble is here. Welcome. Well, Noble has been here. Prodigy is greeting Noble. So there you go. There's that. Mellow. Good morning. Melodrama Karma is in the house. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Hope you've been well. We're having a conversation about technology this morning while I'm struggling with it. And I guess the reason that the conversation went in this direction is because I'm doing a lot trying to adjust the technology to create the best experience. But yeah, let me know. Noble gives a little bit of commentary. So just for context, how does it feel to get kicked out of a stream, Noble? What were your thoughts immediately upon noticing that, hey, I'm out? I'm pretty sure you're not the only one. You're probably not the only one. Stony Buddy is here. Welcome in, Stony Buddy. Kalina says, I love technology because I can upload my content. Yeah, it's definitely a tool that you can access. And use to connect with people, to share your art. All right, let me see if I can get this to work. Said Noble says, by the time I realized that it happened, I was looking at the lobby. Man, why am I looking at how did I get here? It kind of reaches into your soul a little bit when you get kicked from a stream. It's like, man, what did I do? So let's get rid of the all caps in the chat. We're not gonna let this situation degenerate. Everyone is here. Let's stay focused on the conversation. I'm gonna help you do that by pulling up the next prompt. Let's see. Oh, can't find it. Oh, back up. All right. Here we go. How can I improve my relationship with technology? Let's try to look at some practical things that we can do. We know that our lives have been improved and impacted in a variety of ways with the technology that we access on a daily basis. Whether we're watching something on Netflix or sending an email. So item A over on Facebook says, set some limits. You know, Prodigy says it brings us together and also separates us. So set some limits. Maybe cut down. Maybe there's some things you need to, maybe there's some things that you need to maybe cut out. We talked about the apps that maybe we couldn't live without. So let's do this. I realize that things are kind of flared up. If you could just do me a huge favor, anything that didn't happen here, we don't need to talk about here. We don't need to talk about it here. Everybody, one of the things that this experience is here. And I welcome everyone here. It doesn't matter. If you might troll everywhere else on Spoon. That doesn't mean that when you come in here that you don't get to participate in the conversation. So my managers have the green light. So if it gets out of hand, I get it. And that's why I'm just pointing it out. If anything that happens somewhere else, I don't care. Let's just focus on what's going on. Here we go. How can I improve my relationship with technology? That's the question that we're working with right now. And if you feel a little heated, if you need to step away, step away. And I also want to kind of point out everything that's true is not necessarily relevant to the conversation. So let's just, Stony Buddy's giving me a thumbs up on the fit. I got a little hoodie situation popping off. If you're over here on YouTube, you can see me. And I hope everybody can hear me okay. All right. So I'm kind of I'm disappointed that things took that type of turn this morning. My managers have the green light. But yeah, I think that we try to cultivate a space where everyone can kind of maturely exist together. And, it doesn't always work out. So, relationship with technology. Noble says, learning more about tech and its positive details. I want to become more tech savvy. That's one way that you can improve your relationship with it. Hi, I'm new here. I'm glad that you found us then if you're new here. He's like, no, I'm not. I've seen you before. You've been here before. You're not new. Oh, okay. Well, it was just been a disruption. I mean, we can keep making accounts all day. We don't need to make that about this right now. The conversation is what we're having in the background right now. So let's just get with that. Is there a way that we can improve our relationship with technology? We talked about setting limits. What type of limits would you like to set? Just go ahead and drop your answers straight in the chat. Well, I think that what we are doing all right. I don't know who. Okay. Whispering Dawn says, if you feel your day is slipping, it's time to put the phone down. That's how I feel about it. If you feel like your day is slipping, it's time to put the phone down. Mez is like, eee. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so this is the thing about technology, right? We're all kind of coexisting in this space, and it kind of, it can kind of get turned in a specific direction. Nesquik says, yeah, I gotta go. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. All right, we're going to go ahead and, yeah, this one's dead. This prompt's dead. Nobody's thinking about this right now. If you are, please feel free to answer in the chat. We're going to get into our closing prompt. And let's see if we can refocus and leave this experience with something worth taking away to make your day a little bit better. And that question, that prompt. Hey, Zach, welcome, man. It's good to see you this morning. Stony Buddy says, I can improve my relationship by taking breaks. Sometimes you can overdo the technology, for sure. Yeah. Again, like setting those limits, pushing back, taking a break. One day at a time, I will recognize why I need to love myself. That is one thing that you can do one day at a time. So anytime we are making changes, anytime we are reevaluating the things that get to exist and be a part of our life, the change doesn't necessarily happen overnight. As much as we would like and as much as we are accustomed to things happening and changing quickly, it just doesn't necessarily work that way. So one day at a time, I will prioritize my self-care. I will live in the 24 that I adventure and learn anew. Yeah, so no matter what the change is, as much as we are accustomed to having things instantly, there's always a journey involved. And yeah, I'll say this. So this is session number 184. And we did those one day at a time. And I would say over the course of a 184 morning journal sessions, we might have had, I don't know, 3 or 4 times where it felt like things got a little bit disrupted. And I will say 100% of the time, it's never really been what a person came in and said or did. It's always been the way that we respond and react, you know? Because people get bored and just leave, you know? People just get bored. It's just no fun to be in a place where, you know, it's not working. And most of the time when people come in with an energy that's not necessarily in tune with what's going on, they usually get there in just a couple minutes. And there are people, that I might have not even had a very positive sort of experience with in other places. When they come in here, it's a clean slate. So let's try, if we can, to recognize and appreciate the fact that when someone comes in here, they might be looking for something, and we might be able to help them find it. I'm assuming that someone comes in here, they see a prompt in the background, and they want to say something about it. So, yeah, let's be cool. We work on ourselves a lot in here. We try to grow and be mature in here, and we have an opportunity to demonstrate that. Stony Buddy says, one day at a time. Thank you so much for the spoons. I appreciate that. Let me go back. I will work on my mental and physical health. Stony Buddy says, one day at a time, I will remember that this is my life and no one can control it but me. Respectfully. Don't be afraid to name drop the manager in the situation with grace, for sure. I will ask Mez, I know how we like to thank for every individual one, but sometimes in this context, it might be hard to do that because stuff will get away from me. She's like, man, I can't have no fun in here. All right. So let me kind of back up and recap the session. I know that it's always the case that when you are working with a new setup and trying to figure some new things out, there's always going to be some glitches and some things that you're trying to figure out to make sure that the experience is what you hoped it would be. And it's in those times when you kind of have to deal with your outlier situation or whatever. So if anyone's experience of the morning journal session has been negatively impacted by all of this, I apologize that you didn't get what you can, if you didn't get the experience that you were looking for. We all learn and we grow through this. So I appreciate your patience as I'm navigating the new setup. And you are adjusting to kind of the new ways that we are interacting here. Hopefully it translates into a better listening experience for the folks who are watching on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. They have more of what you are having right now in terms of the sound and everything. So with that, what are y'all doing the rest of the day? What's on tap for you? What is it? It's Thursday, right? What's on tap? Supposed to be Venus Day. Alexis is streaming today. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see let me know who's going live. I don't think I have it to kind of do the rundown right now. I don't see. Okay, I can't see everybody's in the room. I know Emma might be getting ready to go to work. I know also Hold Up TV is in here. Hold Up is doing a lot of stuff on Green Room, and you can also catch Hold Up TV. So here's sort of a rule of thumb or a cool hack. Just follow the Hold Up TV on YouTube, because Steve got so many shows and so many different things going on. Just follow the YouTube channel. You can get Fanboy Modeling School. You can get Conversations That Matter. Just follow the Hold Up TV on YouTube. That's probably the best bet. Alexis is streaming this Thursday, so I think tonight is the mental health stream with Alexis Autumn Health. Autumn Health at, what is it, 7 p.m. Eastern? No, it's... Yeah, it's 7 p.m. Eastern, right, for the mental health stream. Delilah says, I have a few projects I've started. I put on the back burner. Yeah, unless your back burner is the only one that's working. I know Tree, shout out to Tree. Tree got that new stove, so all the burners work. Tree had to put everything on the back burner because that was the only one that could get lit, you dig? So 7 p.m. Eastern for the mental health stream. Thanks, Alexis. But unless your back burner is the only one that's lit, take that stuff off the back burner and let's get her done. It's a great day to get started on something new, and I'm excited to see where you go. So Whisper Dawn is going to be going to school and singing. Kalina has your 2 favorite classes today. Noble is going to sleep and then maybe do some game design. Yeah, definitely get that sleep. Brooklyn. Welcome in, Brooklyn. Thanks for joining us. Let us know. The prompt in the background is one day at a time, I will. And let us know what is it you're going to work on today. So Noble started building the newest game yesterday. Well, there you go. New things are a-brewing at Armistice Games. If you want to learn more about the games that Noble is talking about, you can check out armisticegames.com to learn more about the tabletop games that Noble is working on. Stony Buddy says, I'm going to get my life back on track since having COVID. Yeah, a lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are trying to recover from dealing with that. So, yeah. I hope that today is a little bit better than yesterday and that your recovery goes in a positive direction for sure. All right. It's about time for the theme song, y'all. Are y'all about ready for the theme song? I have my positive pineapples. I'm ready to start adulting. I hear you. All right, here we go. This might be the first time for the folks listening on Facebook and YouTube and other places. This might be your first time hearing our outro music. This is how we end every show. Thanks each and every one of you who have been watching and listening to Morning Journal session number 184. I am your host, G. We do this every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. You can catch us live on Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Spoon. So I hope that you had a good time today, and I hope that today will be one that you will look back on and remember fondly because of the progress that you made, the connections that you made, the good that you did. Y'all get out there and do something great. I really appreciate you. All right. Going to say sign out to all the folks watching. We'll see you tomorrow.